play here.
Unbelievable!
The Gulf Coast headquarters for college football is 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Friday. Sunshine the rest of the day with a gentle breeze out of the north-northeast at 11 miles per hour and look for it to be 89. Tonight there will be clear skies with the temperature reaching 73. Sunny tomorrow with a wind around 10 miles per hour and a high of 88. Sunday will have a high of 88 and sunshine. This weather is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Take your next adventure in an award-winning Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Discover the new Kia. We invite you to stop by Bill Bird Kia and test drive the new 2025 Kia. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. The 2025 Kia SUV family has movement that inspires. Drive away today in a new 2025 Kia Soul, Seltos, Sportage, Sorento, or Telluride. Fuel the thrill and command the road in the luxury of a 2025 Kia K5 sedan from Bill Bird Kia. Performance, power, and design built for you. Spark inspiration in the all-electric 2025 EV9. It's a modern masterpiece, fast-charging, rugged, and roomy. Bill Bird Kia is the original home for the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or anytime at BillBirdKia.PanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust. Your local community dealer is Bill Bird Kia.
Looking for dependable civil construction in the Florida Panhandle? CBC Construction has you covered. From land clearing and drainage to roads and underground utilities, CBC delivers high-quality work on time and on budget. Locally owned and operated, CBC is trusted by schools, developers, and municipalities. To learn more, call CBC Construction 850-740-3815 or visit cbcconstruction.com. That's cbcconstruction.com.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party. No, you see, you get $150 in bonus bets after your first $5 bet hits.
Did somebody say hit?
Whoa, Ray Lewis? We were just saying if your bet hits.
Huh? You know I love a good form tackle.
We know, Ray. We know. Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook. Roll with us. New players bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Payable in bonus bets, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 and up and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Looking for the most romantic night out in Panama City? Ferrucci Ristorante is your destination for authentic Italian cuisine and unforgettable moments. The candlelight, the wine, the homemade pasta. It's like a little slice of Italy. From handcrafted sauces to centuries-old recipes, Ferrucci brings true Italian flavor to every plate. It's where love stories begin and anniversaries are celebrated. To reserve your table, call 850-913-9131. Ferrucci Ristorante, Panama City's most romantic escape.
Are you looking to invest in rare coins and precious metals? Well, look no further. Coin and Bullion Reserves is Bay County's trusted source for rare coins and precious metals. Located in the heart of Panama City, our showroom is stocked with a vast selection of gold and silver bullion, rare coins, and currency. Whether you're just starting out or you're a seasoned collector, we have what you're looking for. Our sales staff has over 50 years of experience to help guide you through your purchase. Come and visit Coin and Bullion Reserves today and build your collection with confidence.
WGSX Lynn WVLQ Port St. John. Powered by Panama City Toyota. ESPN Northwest Florida. And now, the Gulf Coast's newest sports talk host.
Hey, there's the new guy.
Paul Wilson.
I'm sick and tired of carrying all the weight.
Paul is your pipeline to the heart of the action. Hot takes, big reactions, and your calls are incoming.
The product on the field is pathetic.
The Sports Blitz on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's 4 o'clock. You can hear the sound. You know what time it is. It's the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We are here. We're live. We're excited. It's Friday, baby. You are almost done. Maybe you're listening at work and you only got about an hour left, but man, I am so pumped up. We got a busy Friday to talk about a lot of stuff. As always on Friday, got Chef Ross in the house. He's feeling pretty good. Got that Packers hat on today. How you doing, Chefy?
Doing about as well as the Packer defense.
Oh, man, so you must be flying around then. And as always on Friday, we got Rich Eisen Jr., Jeff, on the ones here beside me. What you got, Jeff? How you doing, man?
Yeah, you had brought up to me that I do sound like Rich Eisen. And
yeah.
I listened to him. I was like, oh, wow, I kind of do, yeah. Which is kind of weird. But, I mean, there's worse people you can sound like, obviously. You know?
Yeah. You're going full force today, right? Friday is LSU color day. Yeah. It's fan time now, right?
Yeah, sure. I know that we have a complete ban on wearing orange in the studio. So.
Yeah, that's right. Now, yesterday, I went back and looked because you said somebody had told you, hey, it looks like Paul's wearing an orange shirt. But what it is, guys, on the Facebook page is the fact that the lights, they've got the lights bright and it kind of shines this way. And so it brings out the colors. But that obviously was the ESPN logoed shirt, and they don't have orange. It is definitely red. It's just an electric red, and with that bright light on there. So the shirt that I was wearing yesterday was definitely 100% red, not orange, and it definitely wasn't mauve like what you were wearing the day before.
Oh, no, that was not mauve. No, it's
Is that even a color? Is mauve a color?
Mauve is a color. At least I know how to spell it, but I'm not sure exactly what the shade is. That's the problem.
It's mauve. That's the shade.
Yeah, there we go. And as always, in the glass bubble, he's with us. We appreciate it. We like it. Bone Crusher. How you doing, Bone Crusher?
Friday, next stop, the weekend.
It is. I'm excited about it. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. The first thing that I want to dive in tonight with is that Friday night, it means high school football. And I don't know if everybody got to see it. I know a lot of people saw it. A lot of people liked it, commented, shared. We appreciate it. But we got to give out the Sports Blitz High School Football Player of the Week. Kayshawn Rochelle, 6 catches, 110 yards, 1 touchdown, and then also played defense, had 10 tackles and 1 tackle for a loss. On the Facebook post, we put hashtag Travis Hunter in the house. So playing a little bit of both ways like Travis Hunter. If you see the post, I'm about, 6'1", 6'2", whatever with shoes or whatever it is. And he was taller than me. So, looking pretty good. I'm sure there's some college coaches. I talked to Coach Floyd about it, and he said definitely some colleges have reached out about Kayshawn. And doing pretty good. Yeah, Rutherford over there, tall guy, lean, looks like he could go up and get it.
I had celebrated touchdowns when I scored them. But, I played defense. I guess I played really only 2 positions, defensive end and then defensive back. It was mainly cornerback because it was man-to-man, right?
Yeah.
I don't really remember, really celebrating on defense, but, I'm old, so.
Yeah.
Maybe it was before all the defenses really started celebrating. Lawrence Taylor did back in the days, but I'm thinking, when we were younger and all that, I just didn't celebrate when I was on defense and made a play,
we jumped around. I didn't play high school football. I played basketball and baseball. But, backyard and I did play 1 year of tackle football growing up. But because I was just little. I was little and I was fast, but not blazing fast to where you get it around the corner, but around the end or whatever. But either way, I don't know. It has changed. There's a lot more built into the celebration.
Maybe it was because I was a bunch on losing teams and we never would celebrate because we're already trailing in the game.
Yeah, you're already losing, so no reason to jump.
There's no more act like you've been there before.
Yeah, that's true. But at the end of the day, we had Coach Johnson, Coach Jay. He called in one time from out of Texas, and he's a big baseball coach for kids, high schoolers, middle schoolers. And we were talking about celebration. We were during baseball season. Football hadn't hit yet. And we were talking about bat flips. And I think that there was one bat flip where they kicked the kid out of the game or something like that. And, he kind of changed my mind a little bit. I'm a strong A personality type person that I have my opinions about stuff, but listening to him, because we talked about this, and listening to him, it kind of made me shift a little bit, because I'm more of the old school. Let's show it on the field. Let's don't show any emotion as far as don't act like you've been here before type mentality.
Saban says it.
Yeah, and but it was like the way he presented it was more like, the kids on his team not showboating in the fact of, hey, look at what I did to you, or hey, I hit that ball over the fence off of you specifically. But it was more about finally getting to celebrate all of the work that you put into it. And the thing is that he made me think about that. And, some of those guys, that is something you got to think nowadays. Now, when we look at youth sports, we're not talking when we played. It's different now. You have to get specialized coaching. If you want to be a defensive back, you don't just go out in the yard and play, and then when you go ready for practice, you just go practice. And then, no, if you want to be elite, if you want to be good, if you want teams to not throw your way, or if you want to make plays on Friday nights or Saturdays when you get to college, you got to get a trainer. You got to get somebody that's showing you footwork. You got to get speed training. You got to get strength training. You got to get agility training. And some people say, oh, you don't have to do all that, but you kind of do.
When you're 8 years old, how do you know what your body type's going to be when you grow up and can be the specialized whatever position?
Yeah, now I agree with you on the ages. So, usually around 10 to 11. Usually they'll do 4th and 5th grade is when they normally start their specialized training.
That's still too early.
It is still too early.
Because at 16, you can grow 6 inches and 40 pounds. Now you're no longer a running back, you're a tight end.
Well, I'm going to push back. Hold on a second. I'm going to push back against that just a little bit, because the fact is that you're right. You don't know what your body can become. You could be this, that, or the other. But what's the one thing that everybody says kills?
Speed.
Speed kills. Okay, so regardless if you are short or heavy or whatever, but you're doing speed drills, and then finally, boom, your body hits, and now you're 6'2", 180, and you can't play the line or defensive end or whatever, and now you got to be a wide receiver, but you've been doing speed training. Oh, wow, now I can be fast. I'm fast now. I'm faster because I found out the right way to run, because there is technique. If you can run the right way, you can gain miles per hour and you can gain speed and stuff like that. So I agree. I understand what you're saying, but yeah, definitely the 8-year-olds there, and there are people that do it. Don't get me wrong. But, when you see it, it kind of puts me back into what Bo Jackson said not too long ago. Bo Jackson, everybody, when Bo Jackson speaks, you listen, because he's been there. He's done it. He said...
Bo knows.
Yeah, Bo knows. So he said the other day in an interview, he was like, it's changed. It's different. The thing is that we used to just play it all. He said, I played baseball, I played basketball, I played football. He said, heck, if they had a tennis racket, I'd play tennis. It didn't matter. But now you better specify what sport you're playing after you reach a certain age, because if you don't, the kids that are being specific about what they're doing, when you're playing basketball and they're just 100% focusing on football, or they're focusing on baseball and they're training and they're doing, he said they're going to get the edge on you, and that's legitimate. Yeah. It really is, and that's so getting all of this kind of boxed in together, being elite in today's society, in today's world, you have to work extra. You no longer can your coaching or your playing or practicing just be your 2 times a week that your coach has practice or whatever. Because if which we do, we have a lot of baseball practice, and there's a lot of times that you're in the field while somebody else is hitting, or there's 12 kids on the team, 11 kids on the team, so you're trying to get as many reps as you can, so that you can get better, because the mindset is to make practice hard so the game will be easy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm 6'3" now, I'm trying to think.
You're probably shrinking. I know you keep throwing that 6'3" number out, but as you get older,
because a lot
once
of times,
once you get to your 50s, you start shrinking.
Yeah.
So you know what?
Well, I'm only 52.
Well, we'll find.
And but a lot of people will tell me they're 6'1" or 6'2", and I'm standing next to them, and I'm taller.
Yeah, but you got your hair. You got your hair popped up. Yeah, you're trying to add 2 inches to your height.
Okay, shoe size is weird, But when I was 8, I had size 8. When I was 9, I had 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, 12, 12, 13, 13. I had size 13 shoes when I was 13 years old.
Oh, wow.
And I was not 6'3" yet, but I was inching towards that.
I bet you looked like a little bit
I was
funny.
Tall. I was tall.
But, and
that's the reason why they put me on offensive line twice.
Yeah.
When I was younger is because I was second tallest in my grade.
Yeah. But then did you play cornerback in high school?
Yeah, eventually, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So,
but I mean, I was also wide receiver. But the 1 year that I really loved it the most, and I enjoyed football the most, was when I was running back, and it was only 1 year, and I didn't realize at the time. Part of that was probably nepotism. The reason why I didn't remain running back from that point, because my main sport was track.
Yeah. And when you look at sports now, that's the number one thing that most they want you to be fast. I mean, and that's the thing, whether you're playing baseball, basketball, football. There's a guy here in Panama City, and he's a trainer. I think he runs an organization. They've got a place. I'm not going to name the place because they don't sponsor us, but he made it all the way to the big leagues, and I've read a lot, and a lot of times they would get him not because he wasn't good, but because he was so fast. He was good in the outfield. He could, cover a lot of territory, but he also stole a lot of bases. And so, I mean, they'd put him into pinch run. They'd put him into pinch hit. He could bunt. He could hit, and it was just because of speed. So, I mean, when you look at it, that's a big deal. And when Bo's saying, this or that, Bo knows. And so when he knows, you got to get fast.
I do talk. We were talking earlier. You were talking earlier about training and everything. Yeah, it was generic training back in the days. You were hitting the dummies, and everything, and it was just so generic back then.
Yeah,
and then when my nephew went to high school, and then he said, "Oh, we have athletic director," and I was like, "Wait, what?" Like we didn't have athletic directors in high school ever.
No, we didn't either.
Never.
We did.
Y'all did? Really?
We never did. And
he was the dude that did the schedule for all of the sports. He wasn't like doing anything major than calling all the other schools around and setting up schedules, but
yeah, we didn't have that.
And we had the PE coach coaching track. Yeah, that was the worst thing ever. Oh my God,
that's usually what happens. Your PE coaches would be your coaches,
and he had no guidance because he was never a track guy. So why? It's like they're just taking a volunteer at that point.
Happened to me in wrestling. Our football coach was the wrestling coach, and he didn't have a clue on what a single leg takedown was, let alone anything more advanced than that.
Or the scoring and all that kind of stuff. And technique.
But that's what they do.
So anyway, what this all goes back to is that high school player who got the tackle for loss is probably celebrating that, and almost as much as probably the TD that he got as a wide receiver.
Yeah, and that's. But don't you want to see it? Like we talked about Alabama and how lackadaisical they played against Florida State. When they would make a big play, they jumped up and just like ran back. And I don't want not any emotion. I want emotion. I want you to have emotion. I just don't want it to be where it's bad sportsmanship. I mean, we can look at the end of the day, when you do good, you know it and they know it. When you do bad, you know it, they know it. So realistically, telling somebody, I just jumped over you when I just jumped over you, everybody knows. I mean, look at what Randy Moss and them, they send gloves to kids when they find them online for getting mossed. What does getting mossed mean? That means you jump up over them and catch the ball over the top of them, and they get rewarded. Don't you think that if they put out the high school players that win the Moss Award, don't you think that the kid that he jumped over, they all saw it too, and they know who that is, and they're texting him, man, Johnny, you got mossed, and they put you on national TV, Randy Moss saw it, all of that.
You know, I don't want to be a hater, but here we go. Last night I'm watching Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
And one of the people I hate the most in all of football is Richard Sherman.
Richard Sherman. Oh,
and
yeah.
He talks so much trash. You know, Seahawks, eventually 49ers, I think, at the last. I can't remember where
I think that was his last stop.
Yeah, but I can't remember if he played. I think he played somewhere second. But anyway, that trash talking and all that, I just could not stand that guy. So now when I'm seeing as an announcer, I just don't even want to listen to him.
Yeah, because of that. Because his was more of attacking the person.
Yep.
It wasn't, I'm excited about me making the play.
And it wasn't just Michael Crabtree. There was multiple people.
Yeah. And I mean,
but Michael Crabtree is the one that everybody remembers.
Yeah. Everybody remembers that. But Michael Crabtree, you know, the other day I saw, and I know we're going from topic to topic here, but it's just kind of our hangout part of the show. When you look at Michael Crabtree's numbers in college, oh my gosh.
Stud.
He was an absolute stud. I mean, I can't remember who his quarterback was, but he made him look like he got drafted. His quarterback got drafted, Graham Harrell.
That's what I was thinking, Graham Harrell.
That's it. Yeah. I mean, he made him look like an absolute superstar.
Yeah.
He should thank Michael Crabtree for getting drafted because that's the only reason why he got drafted, because of how good Michael Crabtree was, because nobody could guard him.
I believe they kept the Longhorns from going undefeated that year. Because they beat the Longhorns.
Because they were at Texas. He was at Texas Tech, right?
Yeah, Tech, and they tied them like it was a 3-way tie in the Big 12 that year.
Yeah,
Oklahoma was good back then.
Yeah, that was back in the day. But man, if you watched him, my goodness. But getting back to Richard Sherman and getting back to this celebratory stuff, when you are doing it to embarrass the other person, when you're doing it to put yourself an ego trip out there, I think that's a little too much. Now, if you're out there pumping it up and getting ready to go, to get your team fired up and excited, I love that. I love the intensity of the game.
I like the team celebrations, especially. I've even come around on the defensive NFL celebrations that they spend every Thursday choreographing.
Yeah.
But I've come around on those because they're team celebrations, just like after week 1 when Micah Parsons got his sack and in garbage time in the fourth quarter, the whole entire sideline jumped and cheered for it. I like that. I don't like the individual celebration. Look at me, look at me. Well, if I didn't take up 2 blockers over here, you're not getting the sack there.
True. And then like you got Christian Wilkins who made a sack and then did a dance and tore his ACL and was out for the year.
Martin Gramatica.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
So either way, let's get back to it. This weekend, though, this Friday night, we've got local high school football going on. Bay High over at Tommy Oliver taking on Escambia. Now, Bay High being 3-0, Escambia County coming in 0-2, but they usually are good. And one of my inside sources over at Bay said that a former player that plays for Escambia used to play last year at Bay, and so there's been some smack talking going on. So the Tornadoes are going to be trying to rip it up over there at Tommy Oliver. So if you get a chance to go over there and check them out. They have some fun. Arnold's going to be traveling to South Walton. Big game for them. They were off last week, and no, they won last week, but they traveled. So there's their second game away. Bozeman's traveling to Mariana tonight, so hopefully Bozeman can get it done over there with Mariana. Mosley is going to Navarre. Coach Tommy Joe Whidden, I love saying his name, even though he's an Auburn fan. I've been asking him to come on, so hopefully he'll be coming on soon so I can really look him face to face and tell him, you know, we got 2 good things. Your voice is hoarse. You got a good high school football coach's name, but just the cheering for the Auburn Tigers is just, I can't get in there with him. But
he might be a little busy to come on from 4 to 6.
Yeah, he could be, but they do have a bye week, so we'll see how that works. So anyway, go out tonight, cheer on those kids, man. Make it an awesome night. Friday Night Lights here in Bay County. We're excited about it. And when we come back, we are going to dive into some NFL football. You're listening to The Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Taking your hot takes, rants, and takedowns. Let's hear it on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
The Sports Blitz.
So they couldn't go to a bowl game, but all the players are going to the NFL because they had all the talent. That was when Wilbur Marshall was playing there. So I asked my dad, I said, what's in blue helmets? I like those. And he was a big Alabama fan. He said, that's the Gators, son. We don't like them. And I said, I like them. I think I do like them. And that's how it started.
The Sports Blitz.
Live and local, weekdays, 4 to 6.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Friday. Sunshine the rest of the day with a gentle breeze out of the north-northeast at 11 miles per hour and look for it to be 89. Tonight, it will be clear skies with the temperature reaching 73. Sunny tomorrow with a wind around 10 miles per hour and a high of 88. Sunday will have a high of 88 and sunshine. This weather is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
So you've heard the saying that if you love your job, you'll never have to work? Well, it's true.
I've worked for Brock Lawn and Pest Control for many years. The commitment to the needs of customers
and their commitment to each employee makes Brock a company I'm very proud to be a part of.
Brock's core values are also mine. Give people more than they expect and always honor your promises.
This isn't a job. It's a service to help people live a healthier lifestyle.
Brock Lawn and Pest Control. Our family protecting your family.
When it comes to building smart and roofing right, TK Vandy's is the name you can trust. They're your go-to for general contracting, design, build solutions, and top quality roofing. From concept to completion, they deliver excellence on time and on budget. Whether it's a custom build or a complex renovation, they've got you covered, literally. Call TK Vandy today and build something better together. TK Vandy, built with purpose, roofed with pride.
College Football Saturday on ESPN Radio.
Place on earth like Tiger Stadium after dark.
It's an SEC showdown in Death Valley.
It's hard to get much bigger in terms of atmosphere.
The third-ranked LSU Tigers face the Florida Gators.
Playing at Tiger Stadium, really getting our fan base involved in this game and really making it Death Valley.
Gators at Tigers. Coverage starts Saturday at 6. Kickoff at 6:30 right here. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
You've found us inside the CBC Construction Studios. Your favorite team is garbage.
Dallas? I don't want you going to Dallas at all.
And we're here to explain why.
That place is crawling with crackheads and debutantes, and half of them play for the Cowboys.
It's time to take out the trash on the Sports Blitz on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here on this Friday for 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. It's Friday. We're excited about it. You can call in. You can text in on the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290. We've got a plethora of games this weekend, but you can listen here for Clemson and Georgia Tech starting at 10:30. Don't forget, as well as Georgia and Tennessee, coverage starts at 2, kickoffs at 2:30. Then you got the big one, Florida at LSU. Coverage starts at 6 p.m., kickoff at 6:30 over there in Death Valley. It's going to be an awesome weekend. Guys, we cannot not talk about what happened last night. I moved a little too fast. We were going to talk about the NFL, but I got to talk about it. All rise. Oh, Aaron Judge last night hit number 45 and number 46 for the New York Yankees, tying him for 4th overall in the home runs category for the New York Yankees. He ties with none other than Joe DiMaggio. So what do you guys think about that? Now, I do have some stats about it because Joe DiMaggio played a lot more games than Aaron Judge. So just so you know, let me pull it up here real quick. It says that Joe DiMaggio had 6,821 career at-bats to hit 361 home runs. And Aaron Judge had 4,052 at-bats. So 2,700 less at bats than Joe DiMaggio and is already there. Now, you got to think, though, Joe DiMaggio was a high average hitter, too. He wasn't just a home run hitter. So a little different type of guy, even though Aaron Judge is leading the American League in batting average. So you got him leading in the American League batting average. He's third in home runs. He's already at 100 on RBIs. MVP.
I didn't know they gave awards for being fourth in something. But apparently they do.
Well, he's fourth in the history of the Yankees.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know.
Yeah.
He ain't catching Babe.
Yeah.
You don't know that. He's young.
Hank?
You know who else was supposed to catch Babe?
Who?
Ken Griffey Jr.
Ooh.
Alex Rodriguez.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The hype early.
Hype was, but they're good. Yeah. They were good. They were Hall of Famers.
But did they catch Babe?
No, they didn't. They didn't catch him or Hank. Babe nor Hank. So look at the Yankees, man. 9-3 over the Tigers last night. Looked good. Giancarlo hit another one. I'm telling you, when those two start hitting and the other guys just get on base, the Yankees are hard to beat. I know
quality win.
Yeah. I mean, the Tigers, they were almost got swept, though.
Yeah, you know what's going to be weird is, the Red Sox are only half game back behind the Yankees. If they flip-flop and the 4 seed is the Red Sox and they got the home field.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of weird.
Yeah.
In that series, does home field really matter?
It's 5 games.
But in the Yankees-Red Sox, with that rivalry being what it was for the last 100 years.
I'm going to say yeah.
Yeah.
Because the fans are, we know who the fans are.
Yeah, and the opposing team, the visiting team, wants to go out and shut those fans up even more than they would at any other series.
There's some teams that are very lopsided. I mean, there's only like 4 or 6 teams that have a winning road record in all of baseball. And some of them are so lopsided. Like the Rangers are, like their home record is like insane. And then their away record is just horrible.
Yeah, and that's how you win more at home, obviously.
Yeah.
And so, you want that home field advantage. That's it matters. It really does. It's more to it than, you got to think about all the aspects of being at home when you look at it. It's not necessarily just the fans, but it's your comfortability, being at your own home, being able to eat the pregame.
Not travel.
Eat the pregame like you want, stay in the place where you want.
That's not the reason why the Packers won last night.
No, that's true.
And they did win by 9. That's more than a one score, 2-point conversion.
You're jumping ahead, but we'll talk about it in a minute.
Yeah.
But
Packers don't play baseball.
We got to look at it. Guys, let me just say something last night. Obviously, or today about last night. Yesterday being 9/11.
Yeah.
We were talking today about it, and I kind of have to agree. President Trump was there last night. Got a standing ovation for being there and being a part of the festivities that they had. Should Major League Baseball step in and do something right there for that day and allow the Mets to play the Yankees? Should they change the schedule to where every year during 9/11 that the Yankees and the Mets play? And the reason why is because of all of that happened. How cool could you make it? You could have the families that lost people. They would get maybe give them front row seats, let them throw out first pitch. So that, doing all of these things for them, have a flag, singing the Star Spangled Banner, have famous people there. Just make it like a huge, huge deal, because I was disappointed last night in Major League Baseball. And let me tell you why. It's because I was looking for the game and I couldn't find it.
Ooh.
It wasn't on there. It was on the YES network. And the thing is that for something like that, I just think Major League Baseball, with its big time reach that it has, that it could do something way better than what they did last night. Number one, it wasn't on national television. Number two, the Tigers, don't get me wrong, I get it, but it wasn't the same. So they could do some finagling in the schedules to get them there, to have this be a unified deal for our country because of that.
So then where do the Nationals fit in? Because there was a plane that hit in D.C. too on 9/11.
True.
Yeah, but...
And Pennsylvania.
And I don't know which would be closer to the Pirates or the Phillies.
Pennsylvania, the people that landed there wasn't in a building; it was in a field.
Sure, yeah.
And then
they took over that plane, and they're
Well, yeah, but the fact is that the greater of the life loss was in New York, and those two teams,
3,000 and whatever.
Yeah, and what you could do is the old school way of what they did the year after is that they could let the Mets wear the NYPD hats.
Oh, wow.
And then they could let the Yankees wear.
I never knew you were good at marketing.
The New York Fire Department.
This is really good marketing.
My other
that you're
question
coming up
is,
with.
when sports came back and baseball came back, what was the first series played? Was it Mets Yankees? I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
And if that was the case, then yes, you do that every year around 9/11, and you schedule that every year around 9/11. It's not hard when you're doing the schedule to make that happen.
Yeah, I'm just thinking with all of their availability, they should be able to do it, and I think that's a big deal. I think that's a huge deal. Because I think it would be good for all of the people that are involved. I think it would be good. I guarantee you, people would watch it. Obviously,
I guarantee you, next year will be though.
Yeah, I mean, so either way, I just wanted to bring that up, and why would they should do that? They should do that.
It sounds like a good idea. There are going to be some people that are dissenters because there's always some haters right out there.
Oh, you can't make everybody happy.
And yeah, you can't make everybody happy. You're right about that. And my analogy when you first said that, I was thinking it was a bad idea at first because I have a friend of mine and she is a teacher in New Orleans, and 2 weeks ago, Hurricane Katrina anniversary is 20th year anniversary, and she asked on Facebook for people not to relive, all the horror that people were going through,
right,
and bringing it and rehashing it and everything on Facebook, right, and it was inevitable that people would, obviously, because it's the anniversary,
yeah,
and how long do you like Pearl Harbor, we want to try and remember it, but it's not fresh like 9/11 or Hurricane Katrina or Columbine or something like that,
right?
Do we have to relive tragedies, and how long do we have to relive tragedies?
Right, and it's just like and obviously this is a sports station, so we're not going to dive too deep, but there's sometimes when you have grieving moments, if you could make it, that's why I say allow a certain amount of families out there to throw the first pitch, or let them go out and let their kids run out to the base or to the outfield, to the positions with the players during the national anthem. Do some special stuff for the families. Let all of the families get an own, do a wherever they're having it at. If they're going to do it at Shea or if they're going to do it at Yankee Stadium, let them do a tour of the facility and give them free shirts and free T-shirts and good tickets and all that kind of stuff. And, just make it a remembering type thing. So I just thought that was something when I was watching those games last night. That's what I was looking at.
First game in New York was the Mets versus the Braves after 9/11.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just saying, regardless of how you stand with, the whole process, it doesn't matter. At that day and that time, baseball doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Let the two New York teams play. Let's do something big for our country. We're stronger together than we are separated.
Do we have, I'm sure we have it. We have to have a First Responders Day in the calendar, huh?
I'm sure we do.
Yeah,
we got everything. If we got Taco Day, we got a First Responders Day.
Oh, we got some crazy ones out there, I can tell you.
But anyway, let's look into...
Talk Like a Pirate Day.
What is it?
Talk Like a Pirate Day.
Talk Like a Pirate Day.
Oh, gosh. We're not going down this rabbit hole.
Now Ross is going to be a pirate for the rest of the show.
No. So let's look at the wild card. We got about 6 minutes before we're taking our next break. If you look at it, guys, we're looking at the same thing. You got the Mariners who got hot, 6-game win streak. You got the Rangers on a 4-game win streak. Those two teams are really vying for that last spot, with the Mariners having the edge right now. And when you look at it, I still think that somebody's going to get those Mariners and pull them out. I just don't see the Mariners getting in there. We got 15 games, I think, and they've got 16 games left. So it's going to be curious to see who can really step in and make it happen. Who knows? I know that Big Dumper, Kyle Riley's been doing good and leading that group, and I just don't. I still don't see them going. Now, you were saying it was going to stay the same. You were thinking the Mariners are going to stay, and you were thinking the Mariners are going to stay.
I actually thought the Yankees were going to fall out.
Yeah.
So did you know that the Mariners...
They're not, by the way.
Did you know the Mariners and the Astros have the same record, right?
Yeah.
And you know who has the tiebreaker?
The Mariners. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
That is nuts.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
So here we were all talking about Mariners 6, and now they could be the 3 seed.
Yeah. This is a good shot.
Yeah.
They've got another series coming up, don't they?
Yeah.
Against each other?
I think so, yeah. That'll probably determine everything you need to know.
Yeah.
Well, when you look at the Mets 6-game losing streak, see why it doesn't matter? If the Yankees were playing the Mets, it would be great for New York Yankees because they'd beat them because they're struggling right now. And I mean, they've got Juan Soto. You know, he's doing great. He's leading the team, but it's just like the Mets just don't have it together. And then you look at it, the Reds are on a 2-game winning streak. They're a game and a half back. And then the Giants, they're just still sitting there at a game and a half. Now, give us the percentage, Jeff, real quick, on the Reds and the Giants. Who looks like the team that's everybody's banking on?
So 12.8% is the Reds, and then the Giants are 8.2. So this is a difference of 4.6 in probability to make the playoffs.
So the Mets are 80?
Huh?
The Mets are like 80%?
77.7%.
Wow.
And that's huge. But after that, I mean, there's a huge drop off, and then you got 1.9% with the Diamondbacks. So they're not eliminated, but it's very
Pretty
unlikely
close.
that the Diamondbacks are not gonna, they're not gonna make it.
So, wow, they got a lot of confidence in the Mets. It's probably their schedule is probably what they're looking at because I don't think they have anybody really that they're playing.
It's weird because I was watching. I can't remember if Troy was up 13-0 or 10-0 or something like that. They were down double digits. Troy was beating Clemson.
Yeah.
And it showed the percentage for Clemson winning the game, and it was like 60-something%. And I was like, what in the world? How are they down by double digits in the second quarter? And then, the percentage was like wild. I was like, that's just nuts. Show confidence on teams in their history.
Yeah, and that's what they do. And like when they do the because I know that they do the bets or whatever where you can still bet in the game at those numbers even if your team is up. Yeah. And if you're supposed to lose, that number will be still higher for the other team.
So the Astros are 76.9. They're worse odds for the Astros to make the playoffs than the Mets.
Really?
The Mets are a tough stretch right now.
Yeah.
They open up 3 against the Rangers and then 3 against the Padres. And then it gets easier with the Nationals.
Who they got after the Nationals? The Cubs? Yeah.
And then Marlins to finish the season.
So
Marlins and Nationals is the 2 series that are the cakewalks.
Yeah, so that's what they're thinking. They're thinking that they'll probably sweep the Marlins and the Nationals, and then that'll be the way they get in with it being.
They just better not get swept by anybody else, really, though.
But if they, well, again, it's that 70%. You got to be 7 out of 10 to really make it. As far as these other teams vying for that spot, the Reds and the Giants both have to make it. They can't go 50%. They can't go 5-5 over the 10-game spread because if they do, it'd be down.
15 games left. 10-5 is going to get you in. Anything below that is not for the Mets.
Yeah.
Well,
the Mets,
are
somebody's got to catch the Mets.
The Mets are going to be below 10-5.
Wait, what's that?
I see the Mets being below 10-5 in the last 15.
Okay.
But if the Mets go 10-5, they're in regardless.
Yeah,
we're done talking about.
We're done talking.
They can be 2-4 in the next 2 series.
Yeah, I mean, if they go 1-2 against 3 different opponents and then sweep 3-0, 3-0, that's 9-6.
And then you got to. It just really is going to.
And then you have to hope that the Giants blow it.
Yeah, because I mean the Rangers are on a 4-game win streak right now. So if they were to do that, 4 lose, 4 lose, 4 lose, that would be 12.
12-3
and 3.
Whoa.
If they stay
I can't
true.
even bet on Pick'em to be 12-3.
Yeah, I don't see how they can do that. But either way, those games are kind of crazy. When you look at it right now, best time to do baseball, best time to do football, best time to do NFL, and that's why we're still bringing it up. But when you look at this baseball, it's starting to really get tight. If you watch some of the games, I've been watching some of the games, and you can tell by the way that they are acting that these games matter. Normally they'll get up there, and if they strike out or whatever, it's just kind of like, kind of walk back to the dugout. Well, they're throwing their helmets, they're breaking their bats, they're slamming stuff in the dugout. They're getting pretty tight right now because they know it's all on the line.
So do you think June is when they start getting a little tired and weary, not as focused? Because April and May, boom, you're in the season, you're feeling it, your team's doing well, hopefully. And then June, you kind of lull out, and then that refresher is the All-Star break.
Yeah, June, it kind of starts getting a little long for the weariness.
Yeah.
And then July, once you get back, then you pick it up a little bit. But then you kind of have that little bit of lull in August.
Yeah. And then they're looking at the end of the season, and they're like, oh, it's September.
We got to go. We got to go, and we got to go now. So
the Reds have the easiest schedule out of the three. Very easy. The Giants play the Dodgers, two different series coming up.
Yep.
They end with the Rockies, but their middle stretch in that is wretched. The Reds, Cardinals, Cubs, Pirates, Brewers.
And that's why they're giving them such a high chance to win, and the Giants are being a big loss. So it's because their schedule.
And the Brewers will be setting up their playoff roster, not really caring about the last series.
Yeah, they're not going to be doing that. But when we come back, we're going to discuss last night's football game. We got to talk about them Packers. Go Pack, go. You're listening to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Red 70s studio line is now open. 850-215-6290. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida broadcasts the biggest and best games of the week. We're your headquarters for premier matchups, huge rivalries, and fan favorites.
Saturday, it's Clemson and Georgia Tech, Georgia at Tennessee, and Florida at LSU.
The Gulf Coast headquarters for college football is 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Tired of boring merch and want your brand to stand out like the big names? Elevate your look with Red 7 Tees. They don't just print shirts, they create bold identities. They are a veteran-owned custom apparel shop providing the kind of detail that turns heads, using high-quality digital printing and embroidery to give you that unique style you love with no minimums or cookie-cutter designs. From small business to sports teams, if you've got a vision, they'll help you wear it proudly. Visit red7tees.com.
Got a scratch, dent, or full-blown wreck? Bring it to Recommended Collision Center in Panama City. From small scratches to all-over paint jobs, from fender benders to major collisions, it's Recommended Collision Center. They work with all insurance companies and offer customer pay options too. A family-owned collision center that takes pride in top-quality repairs, friendly service, quick drop-offs, and a fast turnaround. So when life throws you a wreck, they'll help you get amended. Recommended Collision Center, 1329 Jinx Avenue, Panama City.
The Kings of the Swamp.
Ball's loose at the 38. Gators got it. Wow.
Join Sean Kelly and the rest of the broadcast team as they bring you Gator football all season long.
Race down the near sideline. 20, 15, 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Gators.
On your home for Florida football, the Gator Sports Network from Learfield.
The Florida Gators play here. Listen to select games on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Now, we're live and local inside the CBC Construction Studios. The Sports Blitz.
Woo! Welcome home, baby.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to The Sports Blitz here with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We're having a great day here on Friday in beautiful Panama City Beach. Don't forget, if you're in Santa Rosa, if you're in Destin, we're not forgetting about you guys. Call in, text in on the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290. As always, got Sheffy and Jeff in the house with Bone Crusher running the ones and twos. Guys, we've got to make an announcement that we haven't made yet, but we are going to right now. We are giving away Jacksonville Jaguar tickets. If you want to go see Sunshine and the boys play, you can do that. You've got to text Jacksonville to 850-215-6290. You can do it right now. Don't misspell Jacksonville. If you need to chat GPT that thing, go ahead and do it. Because if you don't spell it right, you're not entered to win. Jacksonville on the Red 7T's phone line. I'm going to give you the number one more time. 850-215-6290. You can enter to win. It's an awesome time. You can go to Duval. You can put your feet in the water. You can have a great time. You can watch the Jacksonville Jaguars take on the Houston Texans. You want to see some football, you go watch that one. That's going to be a good one because there's some rumors. There's some talk that the Jacksonville Jaguars possibly could be 3-0 coming into that game. That's going to be a big deal.
2-0.
Is it 2-0? Yeah, 2-0. 2-0 coming into that game against C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson Jr. You Alabama fans, don't forget Will Anderson Jr. and Toa plays linebacker for the Houston Texans as well.
What's even a crazier thought is if Houston Texans lose to the Bucs, Tampa Bay Buccaneers this weekend, what's Houston's record?
0-2.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jacksonville 2-0. Texans 0-2, and you're playing in Jacksonville at noon kickoff.
Yeah, I think Jacksonville's that's going to be a hot ticket. You can say what you want, but I think Jacksonville, if they come away with their win this weekend, and they take it from, who do they play?
The Bengals.
The Bengals.
Yeah, if they beat Joe Burrow and the Bengals in Cincinnati, then they come back, there's going to be some rowdy folks at the Jacksonville Jaguars. That'll be a fun time. If you don't want it, I'll text the number and I'll go. I'm just saying, it's going to be fun. So text Jacksonville to the Red 7T's phone line. It's going to be awesome. Last night, we got to watch it. I'm telling you right now, the white helmet that they played in last night was fire. I loved it. Man, that looked good. It's way better than a green hat. I can tell you that. But the white hat, man, the white helmet last night, did y'all like that white uniform?
So it's funny that you say this because my two buddies from LSU that we keep in touch, one lives in Hawaii, the other one lives in Arizona. I was taking a poll. Basically, I said, hey, how do you feel about those Packers helmets? And the one in Hawaii, he loved it.
Yeah.
And then the other one, who is a Commanders fan now, so take it with a grain of salt, he's like, it's awful. And I was like, I think it's good. I did like it.
Chef, being a big Packer fan, because there's a lot of people that they like tradition, and a lot of people are traditionalists and they don't want to see all this, flash. They don't want to see all this primetime stuff. But, man, that white looked good.
I did like that white. Yeah. I also like the original Acme Packer throwbacks that they always did with the just regular orange or yellow, gold helmet, yellow, and then a blue top.
Do you like green jerseys?
I do.
Okay. Yeah, because I think that's memorable, the green jerseys, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you like Alabama? How you like Alabama looking?
Just how they are. White or crimson.
White jersey. Yeah. Of course, the crimson helmet.
Yeah. I'm not too much on changing the scheme for Alabama. I would have to see it.
So if they put an A instead of the number on the helmet?
I don't know. I think it would look sharp, but I would be scared. I don't know. I might would like it. Yeah. I might would like it. I like new stuff.
You're not a fan of like the Ducks coming out with different uniforms?
Oregon's wasting money.
Cliche.
Oregon's wasting money. And the shiny stuff, that's for the young kids.
Yeah, I know they like it.
And they're young kids, so the recruiting's working.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess
the Nike money's working. That's what's working.
That's what's working.
But man, let's look at the game. Oh, before we go, before we talk about that, let's get back into the I definitely want to talk about it. One thing about the Packers uniforms. So I didn't know this until today, and so it made me respect them. You do realize that the Packers uniforms, if you look at them, they're totally different than every single uniform in the National Football League.
I saw
They don't have any uniform that is just like anybody else's. Do you know why?
No, why?
Because their uniforms are made by someone in Green Bay that's local, and they make their jerseys. Now, the NFL does sell a Nike jersey that they make. But as far as like the game-worn jerseys for the Green Bay Packers, they are made by a home local company in Green Bay.
So the Green Bay... The mesh in the Green Bay jerseys, the holes are bigger than the Nike jerseys. The collar is more distinct on the Packer jersey than the rest of the league. Yeah, I saw this the other day on, I think it's Facebook or ESPN,
Probably,
somewhere in there, but yeah.
Really cool. Like, just a great story. Local, they do it, they keep it. It's awesome. So that white jersey looking good last night. So let's get to the actual nuts and bolts of the game. Man, you're talking about a defensive team that just know how to play together. Not that they didn't have some missed tackles, they didn't have some missed plays or anything like that, but man, those guys are flying around the ball. They're excited. I mean, barring injury, they're one of the top 3. I'm not saying top 5. I'm saying top 3 defenses in football. Easy, and they're good. And they adding Micah Parsons to that was exactly what the Packers needed. Now I see why you were so happy whenever they announced it on our show, by the way, it was on our show.
But was it a production addition, or was it just they put the fire back in the team?
It was a production, because Mike Parsons is always taking 2 people.
Yeah, okay.
But it also, you can tell when you've got a good player, when you've got somebody that comes on your team, it gives you more confidence. It gives you it just gives you that more of like, yes. And I know that the other guy, Gary, some of the defensive linemen, they're happy about it because what he just said, they're going to guard 2, they're going to put 2 people on him. So that means if I can whip my guy, I got a shot at getting some more money and sacking the quarterback. So when you look at that team, they're looking good. Yeah. Barring injury, they're looking real good.
They're still not clicking on all cylinders on offense.
Not yet.
Jordan still missed 3 or 4 or 5 deep passes. It would have been 98 to Golden in like the second quarter.
Yeah.
So that's a scary team once they start clicking on offense.
I mean, and I'm going to say this, and I may not make everybody happy, especially somebody in the room. I'm still not 100% sold on Jordan Love being Mr. Great, being able to take a team to the Super Bowl and win.
Did he throw an interception? No. Did he have only 8 incomplete passes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Some of those were.
He did only throw for 202 yards, maybe.
Yeah,
I think is what it was.
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, no interceptions. These are good stats.
Yeah. When you got a good running game, and they got
the thing that was deceiving though was, and think back, is about almost a little more than a year and a half ago, Packers destroyed the Cowboys in the first round of the playoffs, and when they came back into the next year, I said, "Oh, the Packers are gonna." They'll be vying the Lions for the division title, and I thought the Vikings were going to finish way back in third, and then the Vikings is a surprise team, and the Packers actually kind of let me down last year.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I mean, outside of the Eagles, Vikings, and Lions, Packers were 11-1 against everybody else.
So record-wise, we forget that third place team was 11-6,
but. Yeah, you gotta.
That's true.
You gotta win your division games. But my favorite stat is 10 games straight that we've got a rushing touchdown.
Oh wow!
Yeah, Josh
Jacobs has a touchdown in 10 straight
carries, and they ran for 184 yards or something stupid like that. And meanwhile, the Commanders 51,
260 against the Lions the week before.
Yeah. And that's when you said top 3, and then you said defense. I thought you were going to say top 3 team in all of NFL. And that's possible.
That's true too.
That's possible.
I agree with you.
And we're throwing away the Chiefs so quickly because if they do lose this week and being 0-2, we really can say that they're not a top 3 team. The Chiefs
at this moment, yeah.
At this moment,
it just depends on what they're going to do on the trading.
So now we're going to have a response from a Chiefs fan.
Legit, I'm not going to say anything, but if you put Green Bay top 3, who are you taking out?
Well, I mean,
you got Philly, Baltimore, and
Baltimore just lost to the Bills. Yeah. So I'm saying Bills, Eagles, Packers.
Power rankings still have Baltimore at like 2.
Yeah, but when you line up and play another team and you lose, I'm pushing you out.
Buffalo 1, Baltimore 2 is what the power rankings still have.
I don't care what the power.
I don't care what
win-loss matters.
Ravens are 4, 5, or 6. They're in that range.
Yeah, they're still in the talk with the Chiefs.
Yeah, and the sad part is we're brushing off the Lions off of one game that they played a really good Packers team.
That's probably what you've got, though. You've got the Ravens, the Chiefs, and the Lions. Those 3 teams that are just sitting there on the outside that because they lost their first game, because nobody can sit here and say that the Jacksonville Jaguars right now are better than those 3 teams. You can't say that the Bengals are better than those 3 teams right now.
I want to put Green Bay in that same category.
No, they're 0-2. I mean, they're 2-0.
They are 2-0, but the Lions are the Lions. The Lions are still deep and tough, and the Ravens are still.
To me, the surprising team that I think all of us can agree is a top 10 team, and has probably convinced all of us that they are a top 10 team.
The Chargers?
Yeah.
The Chargers.
Chargers.
Yeah.
They're the ones that have changed our mind the most so far. And they've only played 1 game.
I don't know if they've changed my mind yet. I'm not 100%.
Well, you probably wouldn't have put them top 10 before the season, and now you are.
I don't know if It depends. They would be, if they're 10, they're probably 10 for me. They're still 9-10. They're still not up.
So Rams are in top 10?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Steelers are not.
No, but those other 3 teams are that I named that lost.
So you had top 3, and then you had the next 3. So you had the 6 in a lock. It's 7, 8, 9, 10. The Rams are the only ones you can name to me that knock off, that definitely take one of those 7, 8, 9, 10 slots.
So you got 3 teams left.
So it's not Broncos?
Nope, it's the Buccaneers.
Buccaneers, okay.
Yep, I go Buccaneers.
And 49ers?
I don't.
See the Chargers in there. I'm telling you, they're top 10.
I mean,
right now.
But
Minnesota.
Either way, we'll talk about it when we come back. When we come back, we're going to be talking about that, and we've got some Florida LSU insider information. You're listening to the Sports Blitz at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Get in the game. Call or text us now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. Your home for college football. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This Saturday, it's a college football triple header.
Powers his way across. Touchdown, Georgia Tech.
First, Clemson at Georgia Tech. Coverage starts at 10:30, kickoff at 11. Followed by Georgia, Tennessee, kickoff at 2:30. Then it's the Gators at LSU. Coverage starts at 6, kickoff 6:30, right here on your home for the biggest and best games every week.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon, this is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Friday. Sunshine the rest of the day with a gentle breeze out of the north-northeast at 11 miles per hour and look for it to be 89. Tonight there will be clear skies with the temperature reaching 73. Sunny tomorrow with a wind around 10 miles per hour and a high of 88. Sunday will have a high of 88 and sunshine. This weather is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Bringing you the world's #1 auto brand is a lot of fun. Camrys and Tacomas, Land Cruisers and Grand Highlanders. Toyotas are just built to be better.
And that's exactly how we built Panama City Toyota, to give you a better experience.
Where your needs always come first. Where you can relax with a great cup of coffee or browse the Heritage Collection. While we help you add the perfect vehicle to your collection. Come see us today at Panama City Toyota.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose? We can typically replace them while you wait. Hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? In many cases, we can have it back to you the next day. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport, just south of Tractor Supply. The best place in town to take a leak.
WVLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Broadcasting from the CBC Construction Studios.
The Rich Eisen Show.
When the rubber meets the road in must-win contests in January, I think the Chiefs make it, and I think the Chiefs win it, and I think that's the way Kelsey is going to stroll off into the sunset to his wedding day. Chiefs over Lions in Super Bowl 60, and they're going to make 6 and 7 years, and they're going to be a dynastic team we talk about for years to come.
The Rich Eisen Show.
Weekdays 11 and 2 right here on 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
The new Sports Blitz.
Oh, yes!
Rants, hot takes, and huge reactions are incoming on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
You know what time it is. It's 5:01 on Friday. That means you made it to the weekend, baby. We are here. We're locked and loaded. We're ready to go. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget, you can call in. You can text in on the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290. Also, don't forget, you can now enter to win Jaguar tickets. They're going to be playing the Houston Texans. All you Alabama fans, you want to see Will Anderson go hit Sunshine like it was back in the day whenever he used to hit him when we played Clemson in the national championships? There you go. All you got to do is text Jacksonville to the Red 7T's phone line. I'm going to give it to you one more time, 850-215-6290. You can go down there and cheer on Sunshine and the boys. You can see Travis Hunter. You can see Josh Allen, the other one, and have a blast. The Bubba that went last week, he said he had a wonderful time, great atmosphere, and the Jacksonville Jaguars took it to them and won, beat the Carolina Panthers. So just so you know, go ahead and do that if you want to go and have a great time. If not, Jeff's going to go. He wants to put his feet in the Duval water.
I gotta work.
Either way, I'll go.
Either way, let's look at it, guys. We were talking about before the break. We're going to talk about these Packers, and the thing is that in 8 quarters they've had 8 sacks. And they've only allowed 3 touchdowns, and I don't think all of the touchdowns were in meaningful times either.
No, the Lions scored with like 5 minutes to go in a meaningless game, and then the Commanders scored with like 2 minutes to go last night. So they've only given up 1 contested touchdown. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Yeah, and our online community, Greg Harger said, "What's up, my guy? It doesn't matter what they wear. They're going to win the Super Bowl." So there you go, baby.
Title Town
is coming back to Green Bay. You will see, if the Green Bay Packers win, you mark it down, you will start seeing all of these Green Bay Packers come from out of nowhere because they ain't been here in a while. They've been gone for a while.
They ain't been here in a couple months because all the snowbirds will be in here in the middle of all that.
Well, I'm not talking about locally. I'm talking about everywhere. You'll start seeing.
No, Green Bay Packers are still everywhere. That's why there's still a 47-year wait for season tickets.
Yeah, in Green Bay, for sure. But I'm talking about in Northwest Florida. You're going to start seeing people wear Green Bay jerseys and Michael Parsons jerseys.
Sad part is, in New Orleans, okay, I mean, obviously the Saints are overwhelmingly the team that people follow, right?
Yeah.
And there's these
straight to the trash.
There's bandwagon fans.
That's the Astros.
The bandwagon fans that are the Cowboys are probably, easily in the top 3 as far as New Orleans followers go and all that. But I lived in Slidell, Louisiana for 21 years, and that's like 16 miles from Kiln. Now, they don't call it Kiln, Mississippi. They call it the Kill. And that's where Brett Favre's from.
Okay.
So they have like a Packers following on the Mississippi Gulf Coast like you would not believe. I mean, there's a lot of Saints fans, but there's a lot of Packers fans because of Brett Favre.
Yeah, so of course.
The part of Wisconsin I lived in was where the Saints did their training camp for those years.
Lacrosse. Yep.
And there were some Saints fans up in there. I went to Saints Chiefs workouts back in the day.
Oh, wow.
That's so weird that they do that when they put all of these teams and they'll like have their, practices way off from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just, to me, that makes no sense. All the way from New Orleans all the way to Wisconsin just
The
to
weather.
practice.
The weather.
I mean, what are you getting ready for? You play over half of your games in the Superdome. Who cares about the weather?
I know.
I mean, win those games at home and split on the road, you're good. You make the playoffs.
Two-a-days are a lot easier in Wisconsin than they are in
They're
Louisiana.
inside.
The other place that the Saints were when Sean Payton was the coach, we went up to West Virginia.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, that's strange.
Yeah. Either way, but let's look at the Packers, guys. You got to look at it. I know that it's early. 2 games in. Let's see, where do they have them ranked on the power rankings? You had that pulled up.
I had that pulled up from before last night's game, and they were number 3.
They were number 3.
They were number 3.
So who was 1?
It was Eagles.
The Eagles, and then number
Bills.
2 the Bills.
Bills
Yeah, that's what we said.
Number 2, yeah. But the shocking one was, and this is before last night's game, the Commanders were 6.
Oh, wow.
And then they just dropped out of the top 10, I'm sure, from last night's game. Because
Yeah.
not only did they lose by 9, it was worse than 9 points. Can we say that?
Yeah. It was. You could tell by the way it was going. I mean, if you look at it, everything that they've done, and which, the guys that were talking last night, I think Herb Street said something to the fact of now you kind of see what the Cowboy fans thought about Dan Quinn being the head coach. Remember, because he was the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys. And so now it's kind of like, okay. But, a lot of times, guys, when you look at the quarterbacks, they come in, they have this star-studded rookie season. They're already ready to crown them the next quarterback. Mm-hmm. And it never fails. It always happens. These guys go through what they call the sophomore slump. And the thing is people don't understand. Let me educate you a little bit. When they don't know what you're going to do, they kind of are just throwing stuff against the wall to see what will work. And so when they get film on you, when they have a regular season to look at, to see what your tendencies are, to see what you like to do the most, these guys are paid to stop you. So these analysts, all they do for the whole week when they're playing against a specific team, they're watching, okay, when he rolls to his right, he likes to do this. When he rolls to his left, he likes to do this. When it's 3rd and 6, the play caller likes to call this. So now they've got Jaden Daniels and Cliff Kingsbury. They've got a full year of tape to watch on those guys. And then now I'm able, as a defensive coordinator, I'm now able to look more into what your tendencies are, and then I can call different blitz packages. I can throw different schemes at you, and then obviously bringing a player in like Micah Parsons, I can blitz from the right, I can blitz from the left, I can blitz up the middle. I can do all of those things with these guys, and then when you look at it, they blame the quarterback or they blame the offensive coordinator. No, it's called making changes.
So how much tape is enough tape to say that I have enough tape on this guy?
It's got to be
more than 10.
It's got to be more than at least 8 to 10.
Lions, the Lions had enough tape on Washington, right, in the playoffs. And
No,
they didn't.
No.
He didn't play 12 games.
No,
he didn't play a full season last year.
No, the thing is about playoffs is that you're not following what I'm saying. When you look at the totality of it all, when you look and see how they played and what their tendencies are, he didn't really have tendencies. He got outside of the pocket and ran around. He got outside of the pocket and did this and did that.
He did that all season long. And then it gets to the playoffs, and he's going to do it again. So they have the tendencies. They have the tape. And they still couldn't stop it.
It's one thing to say it, it's another thing to stop it, but also you got to know that the Lions, they also were playing with some 2s in there too. So that's the other thing. Because if you look at it, hold on, let me finish this point, because the point is, why do you think Lamar Jackson kills the league in the regular season, and then for some ungodly reason in the playoffs, it's automatically he gets shut down? And that is because they've seen the tape, they know what he's doing, and then they figure it out at the end. But because they only had a few games to watch and really get it down pat to what they could do. But don't forget, that Lions game, there was some offensive struggles that was going on. It was more than the defense.
And then the next week, I can't remember who they played after that. but they were in the NFC Championship game. They were one half away from the Super Bowl. They were winning at halftime, if I remember right.
They beat Tampa and then they beat Detroit.
Yeah, so
they beat two again, really good teams.
These are really good teams, really good defensive coordinators that had a whole season's worth of tape on him, and he still performed and did well. And to go back to your Lamar Jackson thing, was it his fault that the tight end dropped the game-winning pass in the end zone? Because Lamar put the ball where it needed to be. Lamar did what he needed to do.
Lamar could have scored earlier, and he didn't. So there you go. One catch.
Do you know how many 300-yard games Jaden Daniels had last year?
How many?
One.
There you go.
The Bears. Remember that Bears game where he tossed it and the defensive back was like waving at the crowd and doing that stupid stuff, and he got exposed.
Yeah,
and it was like it was a Hail Mary, and they won.
Yeah,
on
they
that.
tipped it. Yep.
Yeah, that's the only 300-yard. Now he had a 299 in the playoffs, but still.
But that's the thing, and that's to my point. You're going to see that it'll be a lot harder for Jaden Daniels to do the things that he done, and then also the fact that Terry McLaurin hasn't been in camp, that probably didn't help. And then, I'm just telling you, these defenses, after they've seen a lot of tape, if they're able to do more, I'm not saying that they don't have the ability to make the changes during the season. I'm just saying when you see everything that they can do, when you see from top to bottom, those first 6 to 8 games, you can say what you want. That's not the full playbook. And so you can't really count those. So now you're looking at, okay, when do we play them? What are they doing? Where are we at? And then a lot of luck kind of comes into that too, because they had a lot of games that they won in the fourth quarter last year, and it was just kind of a meant to be type deal. So, but if you look at the quarterbacks coming out of a rookie season where they do phenomenal, for whatever reason, it's like they figure them out, and it's just like
Well, they got to figure out how to stop him because he was the leading rusher 8 times last year on that team in the regular season alone.
There you go.
And then, so somebody's got to figure it out. Packers are top 3 team. They can stop them because they have a full team to stop them with.
Yeah.
So, but you got to people have to figure him out to figure out what's his button, what's going to stop Jaden Daniels, because that's essentially what the Commanders are.
Yeah, and you got to think, is Jaden Daniels the button you got to push? Is he going to have a down year? Is he going to have a year where he feels like it's this or that, and then they throw different stuff at him, and then, what's he going to do? Because you can't tell me, we can name them. Who was better than RG3 at times his rookie year? He looked like, the incarnate of Randall Cunningham. He was running and throwing. He looked great.
Yeah.
And injuries hurt him, but that second year was really bad. Look at CJ Stroud. That first year, they were like, oh man, this guy's probably going to take Houston to their first chance to win a Super Bowl. And then last year didn't look good last year.
So what?
Still won a playoff game in the second year.
Yeah. But
even Tebow won a playoff game. We can't be talking about this.
But when you look at it, you got to look at how these guys are built, how they're made, and so if you think Washington is a team that is possibly going to redo what they did last year, I'm not so sure. I don't know. I would say they're probably going to be out of the top 10 now that they lost.
You're saying Dallas is second in that division?
I'm not saying that they're second, but there's a good possibility. It's a good possibility. I don't think that it's a cakewalk this year like they're thinking.
You were saying good things about the Giants, and I was disrespecting the Giants.
Yeah.
And guess the Giants are playing at Dallas this weekend. If Dallas loses that, they're messed over.
Yeah, that's a bad thing.
At home.
If Dallas loses that, the Giants change quarterbacks.
No, not at the Giants. They're at home.
Yeah, but I'm saying if Dallas loses that game, the Giants changed quarterbacks.
Oh, yeah.
Russ ain't got it anymore.
I don't know, man. Any given Sunday.
He had a bad game on Sunday for whatever reason. Brian Daboll believes that, going forward, that's the way you go. And, we can talk about this. We got another about 5 or 7 minutes before we have to go to a break. But when you look at it, how do y'all feel about the whole thing about starting a quarterback early? Because I can give you 2 examples. I can give you 3 examples. I can give you more than that. When you look at the rookie quarterbacks coming in, and everybody always wants to have the perfect case scenario, and everybody looks at, Brady sat behind Bledsoe. Then you had Roger set behind Favre. Then you had, this one and that one. And I get it. And
Young behind Montana.
Yeah, but that wasn't long. He didn't sit there long.
3 years?
What, 2 years?
3 years? Yeah,
Young was
probably
also
3 years.
in Tampa.
Who's that?
Young was also in Tampa Bay.
He was already in the league. So but either way, I mean, I agree with you. Still sitting behind a legend is what everybody wants to do. But if you look at it, you can name some people. You can name Peyton Manning. He didn't sit. You can name Josh Allen. He sat, but it wasn't to foster his growth. It was, and then you look at Jaden Daniels. Obviously, he didn't sit. But
Browns and Bengals are synonymous with not having success with
starting
quarterbacks that are rookie quarterbacks. And
that's a good point.
Burrow is the exception for the Bengals.
Yeah,
maybe Carson Palmer a little bit, but for the most part, the Bengals are really bad, and the Browns are just atrocious.
Yeah, because they had a guy by the name of David Klingler out of Houston that went to the Bengals, and Achilles Smith didn't do anything.
I think we've looked at this, and it's a wash either way. You can name the same amount that started and did well, the same amount that sat and did well, the same amount that sat and didn't perform at all, the same amount that started that didn't perform at all.
You can trash the Saints all you want, but they haven't drafted a first-round quarterback since Archie Manning.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason why they don't have success with young quarterbacks.
For every Peyton Manning, there's 3 or 4 Ryan Leafs.
Oh, yeah. Oh, at least 3 or 4, maybe 7 or 8.
Yeah, there's a lot more. But then you got to look at, what's his name?
Marcus Russell.
You got those guys like him. Sanchez. Mark Sanchez took the Jets to the playoffs.
To the AFC.
They had a great defense.
I know, but he still,
I mean, he won games,
he was rookie.
but so did Joe Flacco,
Yeah.
Russell Wilson won Super Bowls early.
Well, he won one.
But that's what you look at it. So y'all don't think it's you don't think it, throw him into the fire, don't throw him into the fire?
I think it's situational. Because I think that if the Bears draft Patrick Mahomes, he's not the Patrick Mahomes we see.
Okay. But then when you look at Jackson Dart, drafted by Brian Daboll, obviously Brian Daboll has been out, it's been said, Brian Daboll said, hey, we wanted Jackson Dart. He was our guy. That's who I want. But then now you see him, Russ is my guy. Russ is starting. I just don't, I mean, he looked good in preseason. I get it. It's preseason. But, I mean, at the end of the day, if Brian Daboll don't win ball games, somebody else might be putting Jackson Dart in to play quarterback if they don't win. Mm-hmm. And that's, I mean, when you look at it, you got a great defense over there, but then you're not putting any points on the board.
You got a terrible offensive line.
Well, they got some injuries. There's some injuries there, so they're supposed to be getting them back. But really, you got to have somebody that can move. And I know Russell used to be his game, but it's really not his game anymore. And I don't think he can. He really doesn't throw well on the run anymore like he used to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was one of his MOs back in the day, but not anymore. But Jackson Dart, I think if they lose to Dallas, I think everybody's going to be calling for Jackson Dart to come out. I mean,
or Jameis.
Yeah, no, they're not calling for Jameis.
Jameis.
No, they're not calling for Jameis Winston.
They're calling it bench Russ, so it's either going to be Jameis or Jackson Dart.
Well, Jackson Dart
want to see Jackson Dart.
He's QB2. I mean, he's on the depth chart as number 2. I don't think Jameis gets in there unless something happens to Jackson Dart or he just doesn't play good for the next. They're going to give Russ this game, I believe, because this is a division game. It's going to be against the Cowboys at the Cowboys. I mean, the Cowboys didn't look terrible in their first game.
Once you go with Jackson Dart, you can't pull him. You got to ride him the rest of the way.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Well, I don't know. It depends what he does. Throws 3 interceptions and he's sitting.
You can't pull him.
Oh, no, I think he can.
I think he can. Yeah, as a young guy, you can.
Yeah, especially when Debo's his job's on the line.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's why you have a Jameis Winston obviously there just in case. I believe that's why they put him at number 2, because they realized, okay, if Russ can't get us there within week 2, 3, 4, whatever is their timeline, then they're going to put Jackson Dart in there. And then when you got Jackson Dart in there, You're going to let him ride for 2, 3, 4 games and just see how it goes from there. And I think honestly, from what I saw, I don't think he can do any worse than what Russell Wilson's doing right now. I don't think there's anything he can do any worse than what Russell Wilson's doing. I mean, he can run, he can move, he's faster. I don't know if he's more accurate, but he's close. And, and that's where you look at it when you got these young guys.
You lose the locker room when you put the kid in and then pull the kid out. You lose the locker room. If you put the kid in, you're going to let the kid learn. You're going to let him take his beating. I mean, they didn't pull Aikman. They didn't pull Peyton. Peyton Manning threw like 20 interceptions his first year.
Yeah, he had a rough go his first year. So I mean, that's just kind of how it is, and that would be the difference between the coaching with the GM or the owner about, hey, look, we're going to ride him. Now, it might get ugly. Am I going to still keep my job if I ride him? Or is the owner saying, play him for a while. If we're losing, if he doesn't look good, then we got to do something else to win ball games because we don't want to let this season be slipped away and then get the first-round draft pick again next year. And then if you do, then, what are you going to do there? So,
I mean, there's some players that are sitting on a hot seat, quarterbacks like Dak Prescott, Kyler Murray,
Yeah, those guys are time.
I don't think Dak's seat's that hot.
It's time.
Dak Prescott's seat's not hot.
No, he's very comfortable.
If they go 5-12, he's done.
Yeah.
Not a chance.
You don't think he's going 5-12?
No, not a chance he's done.
Oh, no, I think he's done. Well, he'll go somewhere else and be a backup.
No, he can't.
Oh, because of this contract?
Look at the dead cap salary hit.
Yeah, that's true.
He's stuck in doubt.
That's true. That's horrible.
Jerry's got some money, though. But either way, when we come back, we're going to discuss this Florida Gator LSU football game that's coming up tomorrow. You don't want to miss it. You're listening to the Sports Blitz here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Reach out and smack someone. Call or text now. 850-215-6290. The Red 17 studio line. ESPN Northwest Florida. Here's what's happening.
Here we go. The Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson will be awarding the Sports Blitz High School Player of the Week. This will go to the outstanding high school football player for each week. The player will receive a gift card from a local restaurant and an ESPN Northwest Florida t-shirt. Coaches, students, parents, and fans, comment on our Facebook page or call in at 850-215-6290 to nominate.
Good evening. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Friday. Clear skies tonight with a light breeze out of the east-northeast at 7 miles per hour and look for the low to be 71. Tomorrow morning, there will be sunshine with the temperature reaching 85. Sunny in the afternoon and evening with a wind around 11 miles per hour and the high of 90. Sunday will have a high of 90 and sunshine. This weather is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
With over 4 decades in business, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to take your collection to the next level. All new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia and supplies, new and vintage cards, and Pokemon. Buy, sell, and trade. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards inside the Stanford Station on 23rd Street next to Academy Sports. Come see the bigger store and the larger inventory or visit online, instantReplaySportsCards.com.
When you bring your vehicle to Panama City Toyota for repairs or maintenance, you'll get the warmest welcome around.
That's because we see service differently.
It's not only an expert team that can help with everything, from simple adjustments to a new set of tires. It's also a team that values your time, so we make your experience as quick and comfortable as possible. Because we're committed to service that goes beyond. Only at Panama City Toyota.
College Football Saturday on ESPN Radio.
No place on earth like Tiger Stadium after dark.
It's an SEC showdown in Death Valley.
It's hard to get much bigger in terms of atmosphere.
The third-ranked LSU Tigers face the Florida Gators.
Playing at Tiger Stadium, really getting our fan base involved in this game and really making it Death Valley.
Gators at Tigers. Coverage starts Saturday at 6. Kickoff at 6:30 right here. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Transmitting from the CBC Construction Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida airs the biggest games of the week from the SEC, ACC, and beyond. If it matters in college football, it's on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Sports Blitz.
You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget, you can call in, you can text in on the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290. Don't forget, if you want those Jaguar tickets next Sunday, not this Sunday, but next Sunday against the Houston Texans, you can text Jacksonville to the Red 7T's phone line. I'm going to give it to you one more time, 850-215-6290. Don't forget to do that. Go see Sunshine and the boys. As we always do on Friday, we've got Christopher Hobbzilla on the phone. He is a insider for the Florida Gators and also an analyst for those guys. And Chris, good to have you on this Friday afternoon. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good, Paul. Good to hear from you.
Yes, sir. Well, you know as well as I do, the chatter has already begun. It began last Saturday afternoon, last Saturday night. Billy Napier, the seat is hot. How is it going this week for the fans? Have you talked to a lot of the fans, and have you talked to any or know of any of what the players are talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I've talked to plenty of fans. You know, that they're all freaking out. They all, you know, are thinking the season is already over because we lost the USF. I can't really disclose much of what I have, you know, spoke to directly to who and what as far as players, but they are not letting this, you know, set them back. They are, you know, out to prove a point.
Yeah, and that's the key. That's what we talked to Chris Blair, the voice of the LSU Tigers, yesterday, and he was telling me that everybody's aware that they're going to throw everything they can at LSU, including the kitchen sink. And so, you know, the real deal with this game is that there's more than just win-loss implications, especially for the Florida Gators. So do you really feel Billy Napier could possibly go after this game if it don't go well down in Baton Rouge?
I've heard people say that and seen people say that, you know, some people with credibility and things like that, but my knowing on it is that Scott Strickland is so close to Billy, he's going to give him, you know, at least the rest of this year. I don't think the fans completely dictate what's going on like they used to.
Yeah, I wondered about that because we do live in a different time. We live in a different era. The social media platforms is just a crazy, crazy thing. You know, I don't know for the team because it doesn't get any better. This schedule is absolutely brutal. We talked about it last week. But is this a must-win for this Gator team? Even if Billy stays, is this a must-win for Gators?
It's not a must-win. It's kind of a yes and no question, but it's definitely to keep the fan base from ungluing completely, yes. But, you know, our schedule is so daunting that as long as we can, you know, get some of our there's, you know, basically Dallas Wilson is a wide receiver that I have to give you some info on that, but there's a possibility that he may be back for the Texas game. You know, we lost L.J. McCray to USF. He went out with a broken foot. But I really believe that we're going to play a lot better because we have, you know, Pup Howard. He came in at the very end of USF. We were trying to save him for this upcoming game against LSU, but we had to roll him out there. So,
yeah, that's one of the ones I was going to ask you about. How big is that, knowing that he's not going to be able to play? Because, I mean, he's a big part of what they were hoping for. They were hoping that he would get back on the field. How big was that to know that you lost him?
Well, are we talking about Dallas?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's huge. Honestly, when I gave the 10-2, it was, you know, factoring in L.J. McCray playing, Caleb Banks being available, which he wasn't for USF, and, Dallas Wilson being available. So it's really moving forward that is huge because that was going to be a primary target. In the spring game, he had 10 receptions for 195 yards alone, so he was the main target.
So y'all beat LSU 4 games ago, and a lot of people forget that. But that Caleb Banks guy, he's 6'3" or 6'4" and like 330 pounds. That guy put a hurting on LSU last year, and LSU only scored 16 points. That's what y'all need to do. And Caleb Banks is back, and a lot of people are forgetting that. But let me tell you who's the biggest opponent for the Florida program right now. It's not LSU. It's the Hurricanes. Because if the Hurricanes beat South Florida this weekend, that kills your strength of schedule of who you lost to already. And then you got to play the Hurricanes behind it. So if you lose to the Hurricanes, that's the straw that broke the back.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that.
That's the must win.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's a must-win for me. I can't deal with losing to the Hurricanes again. So.
Yeah, we've got a lot of fans that are Miami that listen to the show, and so I'm sure they'll be checking in here soon. So I know I don't want to get into too deep of the stuff that you were talking about earlier, where you don't want to divulge too much information, but really give us, in a roundabout way, what's the mood of the team? Because they're obviously, they have phones, they're on Twitter, they're on social media, they know what's out there and what's being said about their coach, who they're playing for. Like, what's the mood of the team, would you say?
I mean, honestly, I really think they're just focused on football, and winning games. Like, yeah, they know the chatter. I mean, the chatter was there last year when they won all those games back-to-back. It was like, Billy's going to be fired. That's the expectation at Florida. You lose a game and your coach is going to be fired, We're 2 games into the season right now, and, people are acting like we lost to, a terrible opponent. It's USF, and they were better than, Florida was expecting at home, and they tried to withhold, people like Pup Howard and things like that, and, it just came back to bite them. Too many bad plays, but, I think they're going to try to win for Billy.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I was wondering if it was going to be like, have they had they said anything about having an all-players meeting?
I can tell you this much. I have heard that if something did happen to Billy, that they are locked in until the NFL, the big-name players are. So.
Yeah, well, that's good. Now, as well as I do, to win in the SEC, it used to just be you could win in the trenches if you had a game manager, if you had somebody there, but you got to have explosive plays, and you got to have good play from your quarterback position. And there's been a lot of talk about DJ. There's been a lot of talk about, it's always that same thing with him as far as when they talk about him. They're like, if he's healthy, that would be one way of putting it. Another thing is like, he's 80%, and is that good enough? So, like, do you have any information on DJ? Is his calf? I think that's what he was dealing with. Is he good to go? Is he 100%? Or, is it still a nagging thing?
Everything that I get from them is that he's 100%, and, basically he's just out of rhythm. This is only his 3rd week of practice is the way they referred to that, because he missed, all of spring ball, everything else. So,
yeah.
I think he's just out of rhythm, and he doesn't have, I hate to keep harping on Dallas Wilson, but everyone was so pumped about having that 5-star wide receiver just bolting down the sidelines. We have many, targets. I think if, a couple of the Florida Gators would have caught that, those passes last week, we might not even have, this part of the conversation,
Yeah, what was the discipline, and I know we haven't discussed this yet, but the spitting incident, obviously that really was one of the big things about the news media talking about, you had it happen on the Monday Night Football game, and nobody said anything about Nick Sirianni.
That was a Thursday.
Thursday night,
Yeah,
rather.
Thursday
My
night.
bad.
Yeah.
So then nobody ever said anything about Nick Sirianni losing control of his team. But when it happens at Florida, well, Billy's done lost to control of his team. And so have you heard anything about that? Because I know that was a big deal coming in or talking about, because realistically, it's a, one-on-one, just a kid lost his cool, whatever.
Yeah. Well, basically on Monday, they asked him, basically, and Billy dodged the question on if they were going to suspend him or anything. He just basically says he hasn't decided, but he is going to play, so...
Yeah, so I wondered about that. I didn't know. I figured he's going to catch some slack on that one, because I think he said something like, we'll handle that in-house like they kind of always do. Now, Jeff, he's a big LSU fan, and we had Chris Blair on yesterday, and, they were ho-humming around the studio. Obviously, Chris was on the phone, but, Jeff was all, puffed up and ready and all that. So, do you feel, does anything that LSU does as far as the team, because we really only talked about Florida, but is there anything that you're scared of about LSU coming into this game about what they do well?
Well, I think they might be withholding some stuff back a little bit too, the Jack Pyburn, he's an ex-Florida Gator they have now, and he's kind of like chopped liver a little bit over there, so I think LSU has a really good defense, and their running game is something I'm not as concerned about yet, but I really think the defense is going to be really tough, and if Nussmeier gets hot, he could have a Heisman day, night, should I say.
I'm not thinking that Nussmeier's going to have a hot day. We can only score 23 points in Louisiana Tech. It's that defense, man, holding Clemson to 10 and then nothing in the second half. And then Louisiana Tech, barely getting a touchdown in to not get shut out. The thing is, you can score 16 on South Florida and possibly win. You score 16 on LSU, chances are you're probably not going to win. And let me tell you, I had a boss that said excuses are for losers. and there's not a whole lot of excuses coming from the Florida camp, which is good. But let's rewind. The second to last drive that South Florida had, they were kicking 4 minutes and something, a game-winning field goal, and they missed it. Yeah. And what did Florida do? Give them the ball right back, and they went right down, and they kicked the game-winning field goal again. There's no excuses for that. Y'all deserve to lose that game. That's not good.
I'm not arguing that.
Yeah. And that's where... with a team like USF, when you don't put them away, you let them hang around, that kind of stuff happens, because you can look back into the first half or even in the third quarter where you had the penalties, where you had the drops, where you had things that just didn't go your way. And then it's like, oh, man, we're in a dogfight, and now we got to leave it up to this one kick, the second time around. Yeah. And they usually don't miss them the second time, because if they do miss the first time.
I think his name was Grammatica.
Yeah, he's Grammatica.
Yeah. And it is Martine's son.
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's got a lineage there of NFL kicking going on. So, we've got about 2 minutes before we take our break, Chris, and tell everybody where they can find you at online so that, any of our listeners, they can follow you and all of that. Tell us where you're at.
Okay, I'm under, Christopher Hobby on Facebook, Christopher Hobbzilla on Instagram, I'm on X, pretty much all over the internet, TikTok, so...
So do you dance? Like TikTok videos, you do some dancing?
No dancing.
Oh, okay, all right, well, that's
good. So, and you follow all Gator sports?
Oh, yes, mainly football, though. I'm a basketball fan, but I don't watch my...
I got you.
Football.
Well, since y'all are a basketball school now...
Oh, no, I didn't! Oh, wow. Well, hopefully he'll change that. Chris, before we go, give us your prediction. Tell us what those Gators are going to do to Jeff's LSU Tigers on Saturday night. Give it to him.
Okay, I think it's, I gave you guys a way off answer last week with USF, but I think Florida prevails 24-20 in Death Valley. DJ, he throws for a couple touchdowns. The Gators, they finish off with the running game with Jaden Ball. Caleb Banks still sacks Nutzemeyer. I mean, it's going to be pretty much similar to last year's game, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it should be exciting. It should be a happening deal. Jeff, we're going to let you give us the score before we go. What do you think?
I think his score's not that far off. I'm going to say it's going to be 27-20 LSU. And I think that there's going to be, I think the problem for Florida is actually going to be they're going to give the ball up. They're going to give a turnover to LSU, and LSU is going to capitalize on it, and it's going to be the difference in the game. 7 points is not that much of a win, but that's what I'm calling now.
Well, Chris, we appreciate you, man, being here with us on Friday. We'll talk to you next week and see whether or not you're going to be happy or if you're going to be a little bit down, ready for them Hurricanes. But either way, buddy, we appreciate it. Christopher Hobby from Hobbzilla.com. That's good, man. We'll talk to you later. When we come back, we are going to dive into the rest of the NFL picks for this week. You're listening to the Sports Blitz at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Call or text him now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Here's John Harbaugh, the Ravens head coach.
Very disappointing. We're just going to have to regroup. We're disappointed, but we'll be fine.
Yeah, you don't want to overreact. But then there are certain situations where you might be overreacting today. If you're a Dolphins fan, you're overreacting today.
It's the Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings from 9 till 11. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good evening. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Friday. Clear skies tonight with a light breeze out of the east-northeast at 7 miles per hour and look for the low to be 71. Tomorrow morning, there will be sunshine with the temperature reaching 85. Sunny in the afternoon and evening with a wind around 11 miles per hour and the high of 90. Sunday will have a high of 90 and sunshine. This weather is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Your NFL and college football headquarters is Dak Cajun Place. With 27 TVs, you won't miss a play or a game. Score 50-cent wings during live games every Monday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. 50-cent wings and $5 pitchers during live games only at Dak Cajun Place. LSU and Saints fans, wear your team colors and get free Jell-O shots when LSU or the Saints score. Plus brunch on Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 2 with $3 mimosas. Game like a local at Dak Cajun Place.
The Rich Eisen Show.
When the rubber meets the road in must-win contests in January, I think the Chiefs make it, and I think the Chiefs win it, and I think that's the way Kelsey is going to stroll off into the sunset to his wedding day. Chiefs over Lions in Super Bowl 60, and they're going to make 6 and 7 years, and they're going to be a dynastic team we talk about for years to come.
The Rich Eisen Show.
Weekdays 11 to 2 right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Being the world's #1 auto brand is a lot of fun. Camrys and Tacomas, Land Cruisers and Grand Highlanders. Toyotas are just built to be better.
And that's exactly how we built Panama City Toyota, to give you a better experience.
Where your needs always come first. Where you can relax with a great cup of coffee or browse the Heritage Collection. While we help you add the perfect vehicle to your collection. Come see us today at Panama City Toyota.
If you build it, they will come. We're live from the CBC Construction Studios. And now the Gulf Coast's newest sports talk host, Paul Wilson.
Fresh new start.
Locally sourced, farm to radio. The Sports Blitz.
We're starting fresh.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
We are back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget, you can call in, you can text in, you can comment. 850-215-6290. When you look at all of the stuff that we've got to talk about, you definitely can disagree with Jeff a lot. So either way, comment on the Facebook page, share. The reason why we get to do these things is because of the great sponsors, AutoNation Ford in Panama City. They will get you taken care of. If you need your vehicle serviced, they have the service department. They've got award-winning techs. They got award-winning service writers. Come see those guys. Let them take care of you and do all of the things, all of the maintenance things. Maybe you have a recall or any of those things. Do it for your car. Do it for yourself. AutoNation Ford in Panama City. Also, don't forget Recommended Collision Center. If your vehicle needs a new touch-up, whether you got some scratches, maybe you've got some dents that just looks like an eyesore a little bit when you're riding down the road, get over there and let Brandon and those guys take care of you so that you can get your ride looking sharp before it gets too late. See those guys, Recommended Collision Center, Jinx Avenue, right there in Panama City. Guys, we only have about 15 minutes to go. I want to get to the NFL. When you look at these schedules, you're going to see some games that I think it's probably going to be some blowouts. I don't think there's going to be some that we're not going to pick straight up together on them. But I do believe there will be a couple. So, Jeff, let's look at them. You can be the first one. Go ahead and tell us what we got on the first one there.
Okay, we left off with the Saints and the 49ers yesterday. So the next game is Buffalo at the Jets.
Right. So Justin Fields, I mean, say what you want about him, but last weekend against the Pittsburgh Steelers, against his former team, 31. He looked really good. He scored 31 points. Mm-hmm. That was good. He rushed the ball really well. He made some good throws. I mean, I don't know. I think sometimes people, he went to Chicago and didn't last, went through couple of coaching changes, didn't work out, then went to the Steelers, had to sit behind Russ, didn't do so well, whatever, had some injury stuff. Now he's with the Jets. They look pretty good. They ran the ball pretty effectively. So, I mean, I get it. They're playing the Bills, but, do you think this one's going to be close at all?
No.
No?
No, I don't think the Jets are going to score more than 23.
Yeah.
Yeah, they aren't going to. And what the Bills put on the Ravens? 44 or something like that. 40. Was it 44?
42?
There's something like that. Yeah, it was a lot.
So Breece Hall is the running back for the Jets. He ran for He ran for over 100 yards last week. He was one of four in the whole NFL.
True. That's true.
And don't forget who ran against the Bills last week, Derrick Henry.
And the Steelers' defense is not bad.
You mean the
Steelers were playing the Jets, so you got 100 and something on a Steelers defense.
Yeah, so
the Bills,
even
more impressive.
Yeah, the Bills didn't look too great on the run.
But you know what? It's going to be so out of hand that they won't need the run. They're going to need the throw to try and catch up.
Because I would say Justin Fields is more like a Lamar Jackson-style quarterback anyway. I mean, he can run. He's not as elusive with the moves, but he can, when he gets outside the pocket, he definitely can pick them up and put them down. So you're going with the Bills, right?
Obviously
the Bills. Chef, what do you think? Think the Bills? Yeah, I'm going with the Bills too. So, I mean, that's really not a surprise. Now, the next one, maybe.
The next game is Seattle at Pittsburgh. And I actually would say, on my part, this is the second hardest game to pick. I'm sure probably Ross probably thinks it's third or fourth. Because you were saying, well, there's a later game we'll talk about that you said was really hard.
Yeah.
But for me, the hardest game actually is, and it maybe it's part of that I'm a Dolphins fan, is that the Dolphins and Patriots game is the hardest game for me to pick. But this one right here, Seattle at Pittsburgh, is really hard for me to pick.
So what is your pick?
I'm going to have to go with Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And it's tough, though. It's a coin flip.
West Coast teams flying to the East Coast to play a noon or 1 o'clock Eastern kickoff is not very good, because that's 9 o'clock in the morning, their regular time.
Yeah.
So that's why I got Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I think Pittsburgh at home, and plus I think they just are better. I think they figured it out a little bit. Their run game is pretty good. Aaron Rodgers is looking, he's not looking like Super Bowl Aaron Rodgers, but he's looking good. He looks like he's in command of the offense. I think the defense will play well enough to put them in the spot to win. And then look, you can say what you want, but Seattle is not the same Seattle team. And I mean, they've got Darnold throwing the football for them. And I just think that Darnold was the guy that Kevin O'Connell, I think he was the one that was really the push behind Darnold. So give me the Steelers on
the
that one.
Seahawks were the first team out of the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
Left out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Them starting at 0-2 with this loss, I think they're going to bounce back. I think that they have a chance to be the second team out this year. But, they're going to be in the race late in the season.
Maybe.
Even after a 0-2 start.
What, Cincinnati 0-4 last year to start?
No, but Cincinnati's in AFC.
I know, but they were 0-4 to start last year, and they were the first team out.
Yeah, they were, because the Dolphins kind of fell apart, and somebody else, the Broncos got better as the season went.
Yeah, and the Chiefs rested everybody against the Broncos instead of actually trying to play a game.
Yeah. Okay, next game, got Rams at Tennessee. Rams, they're going to win.
Yeah, I got the Rams. There's no doubt. Now, I will say this, though. Cam Ward looked good last week with doing what he, working with what he's got. I think he did really good. This next game, this Carolina-Arizona game, I'm wondering, realistically, does Arizona just walk the dog on Carolina, or is the Jaguars that good, or does Carolina rebound and come back and beat Arizona inside?
Well, for starters, Jacksonville is not an above-average team. And so that says a lot about the Panthers. They're horrible. The Saints can probably beat the Panthers.
They'll find out.
Maybe even twice. And Arizona basically beat the Saints. There was no, if this happened or if that happened. Arizona beat the Saints. So I'm going with Arizona.
Arizona?
Yeah, we're picking this straight up. We're not picking the 7.5, right?
Right. No.
Yeah, straight up, give me Arizona.
Yeah, I'm going Arizona too. Now, to me, this next one is going to be the real deal. I don't know, because you don't know what you're going to get. You got a Denver team going to Indianapolis. Weather's not going to be an issue. It's going to be inside the dome. You got a Daniel Jones coming off the best game that he's probably ever had. He did something that no other NFL quarterback has ever done in the existence of football. And then you've got a second year, here we go again, Bo Nix quarterback that didn't look so good last week. Didn't look good at all. Sean Payton got all the confidence in the world in Bo Nix, but Bo Nix just didn't look good. And, there's something to that. And so, Jeff, when you look at it, what are you going to do with Denver at Indy?
I'm definitely going Denver. I wouldn't even say, this wouldn't even be a top 5 hardest games for me to pick. I'm really believe that in Denver in this one.
You've got a heart tied to Sean Payton.
No, not really. I'm a lot more Drew Brees than I am Sean Payton. Though, I do kind of like the guy. He's wearing the different colors. It's like Saban at Alabama, It's not right.
But you still trust him.
Yeah, I'm trusting him to win this game. So I'm definitely going with Denver. This is not a top 5 hardest game to pick.
I've got Denver. I think Indianapolis was fool's gold. It was more about Miami being that bad than Indianapolis looking that good.
Yeah.
Well, give me Jonathan Taylor and Daniel Jones to beat the Denver Broncos at home. Denver, they're going to go 1-1, and the Colts are going to be the team that you talk about. Everybody's going to be talking about. Maybe a resurgence for Daniel Jones. He's going to have another good day. They're going to do good. Their defense is going to be flying around. Everybody's going to bring excitement back. They're going to be thinking about the years that they had Peyton Manning up there in Indy. Now, this is the other game.
So McAfee's going to be hyping up that crowd?
Oh, yeah. Everybody's going to be pumped up. So you got Philadelphia and KC at Kansas City at 3:25 during the day. What you think?
I'm going Philly.
But why?
I just don't think that the Chiefs really have anything new really to bring to the table, and I just think that the Eagles have horses. They're just going to trample them. Not trample them, but, they're going to win for sure.
Yeah.
I just can't see the Chiefs being 0-2 in my life, or in this season, in this form of the Chiefs. I realize they're all getting older. They're all getting long in the tooth, but I can't see the Chiefs being 0-2. And plus, Philadelphia looked very undisciplined Thursday night against the Cowboys.
Well,
so if you play a good team and you're undisciplined, it's going to come back to bite you.
0-2 teams have made the playoffs,
but never the Super Bowl.
Well, maybe. Okay, the Chargers in 95, I think they started 1-4 and then ran the table and then lost the Super Bowl to the 49ers. That the only time that the Chargers ever made the Super Bowl. But 1-4 is a pretty bad start.
Yeah.
But the thing is about the Chiefs is, look, after this 0-2 start, they got the Giants, boom. And then a couple of weeks, no, it's not a couple of weeks. Yeah, they're at Jacksonville, and they're going to boom. They're going to get another win, and they're going to be rolling. And then the playoff, the Chargers only have one more time against them, right?
Yeah.
And then if they can sweep the Broncos, boom, they're easily going to be maybe the top wild card pick if they don't steal a division back.
So you're going with?
I'm going with Chiefs.
Chiefs for him. Give me the Eagles in this one. I do believe that the Eagles will have their number. Don't forget their best defensive lineman, Jalen Carter, will not spit on anybody this time.
Hopefully.
So he will be playing, and he will be a problem for the offensive line because that's the biggest problem for them, as well as the defensive line, for whatever reason, cannot get any pressure on the offense. And if Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley can run the football, and then he doesn't have to worry about getting sacked in the backfield, you're going to see the Eagles win. And honestly, guys, I think it's not going to be like the Super Bowl, but I do think it's going to be a convincing win. I think the Eagles are going to cover and beat them pretty good. So then we move to the Atlanta Falcons, Bone Crushers buddies, and Minnesota, right?
Yeah, I'm going Minnesota.
Minnesota.
I got the Vikings at home.
Yep.
Yeah, the Vikings at home. Again, I love Bone Crusher. He's our producer. He makes us sound good. He does all the things for us. But, Bone Crusher, I just can't see this Atlanta Falcons team beating Minnesota at Minnesota because I'm not a Michael Penix fan. I don't think he's got it. So either way, give me Minnesota. The Vikings probably are going to...
I knew it.
They're probably going to cover the spread by about 10 more. You could probably add 10 to that spread.
Wow.
But either way, let's move on because we only have 2 minutes to go.
So Tampa Bay at Houston. I'm taking Tampa Bay. I believe Ross said this is the hardest game for you to pick?
Yeah, this was the last one for me to circle. It was really hard for me to pick because Tampa Bay looked really good. Houston's playing at home. Houston looked pretty good. Houston's got some weapons. I flipped a coin and give me Houston at home.
All right. So give me Tampa Bay. There's no way that you're going to tell me that Baker Mayfield's going to lose to this Houston team. I think he's going to get outside the pocket, going to throw some to the other Ohio State guy over there. But either way, give me Tampa Bay.
Chargers at Vegas. And this is a late Monday night game. Late. We're not going to stay up for this.
No, but we'll see it in the morning.
I'm off Tuesday. I might stay up for this.
So what do you think?
I got Chargers.
I got Chargers.
Yeah, the Chargers are the good pick. I think the Chargers are going to win that one as well. But when you look at it, Pete Carroll's going to get them going eventually, but not Monday. So
quick thing. I'm one game up on you. You have 2 games that you picked different from me. You have the Jaguars and the Colts, and I have Denver and Cincinnati.
Yep. Well, we'll see how it flips out come on Monday. You've been listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. Have a great weekend. We're so glad that you joined us today. You've been listening to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. The Coach James Hale Show.
Coach, how long has it been since Kentucky had a better record than Alabama?
Ooh.